Now, in today's class, we are going to learn about communication principles. Right? What is our today's class? It is about the communication principles. What is this communication here? Okay, this is the one of the framework activity. It is the one of the process framework activity, and this is also a first phase for a process framework activity. Okay, what is the main roles of this communication? By following these rules, okay, then we will, okay, we will reach good practices, which means good kind of working nature. We will develop good kind of working nature. That's why now we are going to learn these communication principles here. Okay, some each and every life cycle, SDLC has communication life cycle. It is a first phase of a life cycle. So according to a what according to model, there may be different there may be points are different from one method to another method. Okay, we have seen many SDLC life cycles in software engineering, isn't it? So among those, so according to each and every process model, the communication phase may have some little roles and responsibilities are little bit changed to one to another. Okay, but okay, but if you learn those, if you learn the communication principles, if you learn the communication principles, these are the standard principles. So these principles are apt for any kind of process models. If you learn this, if you learn this, okay, you can build your software project in any one of the process model. Okay, so no need to fix it for a single one. No need to fix it for a single software model, isn't it? You can play with your own way with that software models. Otherwise you may create your own software model itself, isn't it? So that's why now we are going to learn framework activities principles one by one. Okay, first we are going to learn about a communication principles. So first one is a listen. So this is the first principle. What it is? It is a first principle. So what it means? Try to focus on the speaker's words. Okay, in communication means now we are going to listen the words of a speaker. He may be a stakeholder, he may be a project manager, okay, anybody. Okay, towards that project, somebody is trying to speak. First of all, you should listen them clearly. Okay, after finishing of one statement, don't try to give response them to that particular first statement. Okay, he may have second or third or fourth statement to, no, to tell, but if you interrupt him, if you interrupt him, okay, he may forgot or he may what some loss of some important points while discussing with you. Such kind of things may, okay, come across while discussing about a project. So better keep quiet until unless he'll finish off his points. So that is about your first principle. What it is? Listen. Listen in the sense, try to focus on speaker's words rather than formulating your response to those words. Don't try to give the response to towards the words whichever he is speaking about. Don't interrupt him while somebody is speaking. Okay, until the completion of that their words, please wait. Later you will start. If you have any kind of doubts, you will start later. That is secondary, but primary, keep quiet, listen them. Okay, try to understand their points, right? Coming to the second point, prepare before you communicate. So before going to talk, before going to tell about that particular project, so be prepared, which means first of all understand the problem before you are going to explain about that. Before you are going to meet somebody to communicate about some project, you should understand that problem properly. That is the second point. Coming to the third point, someone should facilitate the activity. Okay, which means every communication meeting should have a leader. Okay, so if we have leader, the conversation moving on productive direction. What that leader will do? Okay, always he is thinking about, or he is talking towards a, okay, work or outcome of that particular task. Okay, he leads you towards that productive of that particular project. Okay, and also to immediate any conflict that does occur. So if any kind of conflicts are raised in your work, he will try to address those. Otherwise he will move for some other precautions or rectifications of that particular problems. And to ensure that other principles followed. So the principles, whatever the designing principle or some other principles are there to develop that particular project. So okay, he is asked, or he is checking out whether all are following that particular principles or not, this work is going okay with a quality or not. Like that he may check for everything. So that's why, if possible, you should, okay, better you should have a one leader in communication meetings. Okay, he will talk everything on behalf of you. If you feel that is what are the possibilities and impossibilities towards that particular project. Okay, he may explain that to that particular higher authorities people or stakeholders. He may try to convince them, isn't it? Instead of talking all of the team members, by representing you, one member will should talk related to that project and what are the pros and cons of that project. Then it will be a very good one. He monitor everything now related to that project. So that's why, if possible, do or maintain a team leader uh, in communication work phase. Next, face to face communication is the best. Okay, if whenever you want to, as a developers or as a leader, you want to communicate with what clients. If the client and you, if you'll sit both together and discussing about the project will give good result than a third person in the sense. Okay, if always the client is talking with only project manager, the project manager will insist you to do this all of the things related to that project. Like that, the work is something is going on, it may give some kind of miscommunication problems. It may lead to miscommunication problems. If you are working, okay, with the instructions of somebody or third party, okay, or somebody, okay. So it may be such it may give some kind of mis what communication problems. So to avoid those, to overcome those, better there is a face to face communication in between a client and a developer, right? And coming to the fifth one, take notes and document decisions. What you should do there, take notes. So whatever the people is talking about your project, first of all you should maintain a note for each and every project, which means take pen and paper, or otherwise take any recording device with you, carry. If the company is allows you, better to carry any recording device with you. Then okay, try to record everything related to that project. Then you should start the work. Later you should prepare a, you would prepare a documentation, isn't it? So such kind of thing is a good one, it's a good practice. Even though in classrooms also you are maintaining some books, notebooks, running notes, okay, most of your people started to write some running notes. What is the purpose of that? It will by doing that, okay, automatically you are concentrated on whatever whatever the lecture is, I mean whatever the concept is going on, what are the important concepts related to that, okay, like that everything is, you are going to make a note. If you will refer, if you will listen like that one thing, okay, it will be useful for same time, which means it will give more information than normal listening, okay, it will give more points, and also it may be useful for future references, isn't it? For that sake, you should maintain running notes. So here also, if you are talking with your higher authorities, officials or stakeholders or anybody, okay, related to your project, better to make note each and every point, right? That is about fifth principle. Coming to sixth one, strive for collaboration. Already we have seen or we have discussed about this collaboration point while working with okay, team members. If team members, which means all will be worked collaboratively, then you will get effective results on that particular project. To get effective results on particular project, then you should work collaboratively, so then it will give some collective knowledge, right? By respecting one with other, if you work on that particular project, okay, then there is a chance to get effective outcome there, okay. That's why always try to okay, collaborate, clear. And next point is stay focused, modularize your discussion, which means if if more people are involved in any communication, okay, the discussion may be okay, changed or bounced. If some many people are talking about a single point, so there is a chance to bounce on that. So in such a cases, better to modularize that one, whatever the Okay, discussion. Stay focused on that particular points only. Don't deviate that particular situation. Clear? And if something is unclear, which means coming to the eighth point, if something is unclear, draw a picture. If you're not understanding the problem statement properly, okay, then draw and put that particular problem in paper. Then you may get some clear idea about that. Okay, to understand the problem betterly. This is one of the technique. Next, coming to ninth principles. Okay, once you agree to something, move on. If you agree whatever they are asked for, okay, which means that the particular persons have many stories, they are asked to develop the stories or features. Okay, right. So if you are agree to develop those all features, then move on. Coming to the second point, if you can't agree something, then also move on. If you can agree, then okay, move on. If you can't agree, just move on. If a feature or a function is unclear and cannot be clarified at that moment, okay, move on. Okay, don't try to know everything at that particular moment itself. Okay, just move on. Just started the working. Whatever the features are given by the customers, try to work related to that one. Okay, try to implement each and every feature whatever they are asked for. Try to implement everything. Okay, put your overall effort onto that, and don't say okay it is impossible. Okay, don't say we can't implement these kind of things like that. If you are agree or disagree, just move on and started working. Okay, sometimes while working with that particular thing, at that time it may be feel it is difficult. You can ask the permission at that time. You can ask for negotiation at that time. Okay, don't ask for at the starting itself, isn't it? If it is okay, we will develop all the 6 points except this 7 point. Okay, we can't but develop like that. You don't tell that one. First, better to implement the all the 6 point. Then the last point will be try to develop that one also. If possible, you can okay success that. If it is impossible at that time, go to the customer and to tell what why you can't implement. I mean, you are not able to implement particular function. Explain them clearly and ask for some negotiations. If they'll understand that situation, then they'll be okay. It's okay. They'll said okay, it's okay. Then chalta whatever till now we have developed the project like that. Okay, so like that, if at the starting of the project, don't say the negative words. Clear? And don't confuse them and don't confuse yourself. This is the communication important. While something is okay, instructing you towards a project, but better to just listen them. Whatever their view, what they need exactly. Okay, everything. And don't interrupt them and don't try to respond for don't try to give the response to them in between. Okay, right. The last point, negotiation is not a contest or a game. It works best when both parties win. Sometimes there is a negotiable things in your project. Okay, it's not a game, it's not a contest. Okay, sometimes you need to adjust as a developer. So you need to adjust and prepare according to a customer requirements or wishes. Sometimes he may accept your what your requests too. If will both will like work like that, then you may get a successful outcome on your particular project, right? Okay, these are the actually here we are having 10 communication principles. If you follow these 10 communication principles, then you will get clear idea about the project. You'll get more number of inputs. Okay, or otherwise you can understand clearly about the view of a stakeholders, exactly what they need towards that project, what they want from that project. If you will understand clearly that, then only you started to work on that. If you are not understanding properly about that particular project or that business goals, why he is asked for developing that particular project, so what you do? Nothing. If you develop in such a case, there is no use of that. So that's why, first of all, listen them, and what is the business goal of them. Okay, why they are asked to develop that such kind of project, what are the features they need to develop in that particular thing. Okay, and while working with, you should maintain a team leader if possible. Okay, while working on that project, better to discuss with every time, better to discuss with the client directly. Okay, instead of discussing with a third person. Okay, there is a face to face in any time, number of times you should sit with face to face interaction with it, what client, right? So if you will follow these kinds of rules in working phase, you may get, you are succeeded 90% in the project. Why? Because we are developing for the project for somebody's sake, okay, on somebody's interest. If that is liked by them, so we succeeded almost. Okay, if that does not liked by them, means what is the meaning to develop such kind of projects, isn't it? So we should satisfy the customers. The satisfaction is, if you will give, if the satisfaction level is more, then only the customers will be happy with our project. Otherwise, okay, it will be little bit, I mean, it will give some little dissatisfaction, isn't it? So not only for project, everywhere you should go, everywhere first listen somebody's point of view, your opposite person point of view. Okay, let them complete what they want to say. Okay, after completion of their words, better to start speak if it's not leads to any conflicts. Okay, but your discussion is maybe deviate to some conflicts, deviate that situation, means okay, better to, okay, stop talking or don't talk in such a cases. Keep quiet, move on from that situation. Then later you will discuss about that one in later stages. Okay, so if you follow that one, okay, you will become little gentleman, right? Okay, this is about today's class.